It's comic book fans, so welcome to After the Pull fans. I'm Mike Spider Slayer, and this is Comic Book Corner 2.0, and this is the video series where I take some of my most highly anticipated comic books that I was looking forward to reading and seeing if they live up to the hype. This week we'll be talking about 5 comic books. So guys, let's not waste any more time and let's dive in to the books that we're going to be discussing, kicking it off with number 5. Coming in at number 5, we have Poison Ivy. This is issue 1. Now, I have not read a Poison Ivy series since Poison Ivy, I think it was called Psycho Life and Death, which was absolutely awesome series. And this book actually looks pretty awesome too. I thought the artwork was definitely different. Here we get to see this different cast of characters in here. But there wasn't a lot of action. There was just a lot of narration in here from Poison Ivy, which I thought was kind of cool. You get to see some Harley Quinn in here, which Poison Ivy book that you don't see where, you know, Harley and Poison Ivy are together. But I think what really made this book shine for me again was the pretty artwork. There were some like really psychedelic parts where people are turning into like mushroom people and stuff like that. And the story for me was okay. I mean, it didn't blow me out of the water. Maybe I was just looking for something a little bit different, kind of a little bit of a psychological type of book. But I was just really entertained by looking at the story. But I am very curious to see what G. Willow Wilson is actually going to do with this book going forward. So if you're into Poison Ivy, you might like this. So we'll see where it goes from here. All right, so moving on to number 4, we have Thor. This is issue 26. This is Banner of War Part 4. So what can you expect out of this story? Well, you can expect lots of action. You can expect Thor being a Hulk. That's what you can expect in here. And the other thing that you can expect is, you know, some fan service. So if there isn't anybody else in the Marvel Universe that had possession of Mjolnir, well, you're going to get Hulk that's going to be in possession of the hammer now. And you actually physically see that in this comic book right here. Boom. There you are. All this book had to offer was really just a big brawl between Hulk and Thor. Something bad happens to the Bifrost as well. And going forward, how will this conclude? I don't know. But it'll probably conclude where Thor will become normal again. I felt that the only thing that you got out of this story is you get Banner talking about who Titan is and how it works and how he can affect other people, and you don't want him to be unleashed. That was the only thing that I really got out of this book. If you like action, this book is for you. And I like action. I thought it was good. It's just if you're looking for plot progression, not a lot there. Coming in at number 3, we have Dark Knights of Steel. This is issue 7 of 12. This series has been absolutely awesome. Here on the cover, you get to see this cool-ass dragon. And let me tell you, you see the dragon inside this book. Tom Taylor has done a phenomenal job with this book. The artwork has always been absolutely phenomenal in here. And here we just get to see kind of like a dream sequence that happens. But it just really showcases the artwork on how much detail there's put into this work and whatnot. So I really enjoyed this issue as you just get to get caught up of what's happening with Bruce Wayne, how he's been in recovery. You get to see, you know, Ma and Pa Kent in this issue on what their role is in this world. You know, in this Game of Thrones like world and whatnot. And you also get introduced to the Teen Titans in this issue as well, as Ma and Pa can't take care of them. So you get to see like Beast Boy and Raven. You also get to see Cyborg in this book. So it was a lot of fun. And yes, there was a lot of slow parts in this issue. But by the time you get to end of it, you wind up getting to see a lot of action. And like I said, that dragon, if you can figure out who that dragon is, which hint, hint, I'm pointing to him right now, that was really a lot of fun to see. So again, Dark Knights of Steel always delivers on every level. I am a fan of this book, one of the best books on the store shelves today. This is definitely a recommend, guys. Don't pass this one up. Let's pick it up. Coming in at number 2, we have Dark Crisis issue 1 of 7. Now, the funny thing is I did not like The Road to Dark Crisis, but this book was a much better book, a great setup to which I think could be a really solid event. But the thing that made this book for me was John Kent. Not because he was a great character, but because he was a failure. I loved how he actually, it was his job to try to recruit a great Justice League, and it was kind of like an epic fail. He winds up getting a whole bunch of second-rate characters or characters that would never fit the bill for the Justice League to join his team. Nevertheless, it was entertaining to see, that journey there. The artwork in this book was absolutely beautiful. I love the characters in this book. They all looked phenomenal. Whether it was the small panels, the big panels, Jessica Cruz, Yara Flora, Superman, they all look great. Check out this picture here of Hal Jordan. That was absolutely gorgeous here. Here's a nice little panel of Darkseid as well. So that was always, always good to look at. Here's that picture with Yara Flora, like I said. So all this stuff in here was just phenomenal, right? So John is supposed to take over his father's legacy, right? He's got to get together this new team. And the first thing that he winds up doing is he winds up going to Yara Flora, and it's just not taken seriously, man. She's like, whatever, no, I'm not going to be part of your little team. I'm on my own. And no matter who he tries to recruit, it is definitely just an epic fail, right? But he does require, he does get a team together, after failing miserably by asking like all these people, where some say yes, some say no. And eventually he comes up with this team right here, the new Justice League. And here you get to see all the cast of characters that are here. Hardly part of the Justice League? Come on, guys. Like, really? So this was a pretty cool book, and I love Black Adam as a character in here because he is the one that's the oldest one, the eldest, the most experienced. Yes, can he not be trusted? Absolutely. But he's like, you guys are just not, fit. You do not fit the bill, right? And he kind of takes off, and he kind of makes John feel like crap. You kind of feel bad for John, but you know what? That's growing pains. You got to learn. That's how you become. The man that should be in charge of this Justice League is Nightwing right here. That guy right there. He should be, but he's in charge of the Titans Academy. He feels like that's more important right now. But by the time you wind up getting to the end of this book, all these attacks are because of Deathstroke. And I thought that was badass because that's coming off of the Shadow War event where he most recently got resurrected. And right away, he's going to the Titans Academy to attack. And obviously, we get to see the multiverses are already starting to break apart. And this was a great book. This was one of my favorite books of the week. Definitely a great first issue. Definitely sets things up. I was pleasantly surprised after reading such a crappy Road to Dark Crisis issue. So I am on board with this, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Coming in at number 1, this goes to the Amazing Spider-Man issue 3. I really enjoyed this, guys. I thought this book was great because you know why? You could feel the desperation in Peter Parker Spider-Man in this book. And it's desperation that I have not felt in an Amazing Spider-Man book in quite some time. I never felt Spider-Man beg and plead for his life and the life of others in such a long time. I never seen him take such a beating in such a long time from a street level character like Tombstone. Tombstone is not soft anymore. He is straight up badass, and he will not take any shit from anybody. And in this issue, he threatens the lives of others to where people are going to die. And obviously, Spider-Man is in no shape or form in order to stop this whole situation. And in the meantime, in this book, you wind up getting the story of these two are going to get married with each other, which I thought was actually pretty awesome. Tombstone's daughter and Robertson's son, right? So that was kind of cool. And you get the whole plan revealed to Spider-Man, what's going to happen. And again, he can't do anything about it. Now, the other cool thing about this book was you got a little bit of a backstory about Tombstone, of how he was a bully himself when he was a little kid. Never said anything, just got picked on until one day he just snapped. And his early days of being a young Tombstone, what he did is he literally sharpened his teeth until they were made out of little points, and he used it as a weapon, and he basically bit the ear off of all his bullies, and no one messed with him ever again. Ever since then, he was a badass, a crime lord, one to be reckoned with. And this was a great little story of Tombstone. And again, the desperation on Peter in this book was absolutely phenomenal. I think Zeb Wells is doing a bang-up job right in this character. Right from the start, there's stakes in this series where we did not get these stakes for issues and issues and issues when it comes to Nick Spencer's run. We saw Spider-Man die and come back alive again, and die and come back alive again, but you didn't see him plead for his life. He never felt desperate. You always felt like, he's going to come back, right? This book was awesome. He's just about to get shot, and he's just like, stop! And that's how the book ends. I thought this book was phenomenal. Maybe the artwork, like I said, is not that great, okay? Maybe it's a quick read. Maybe it's not a very in-depth story, or maybe it's a very decompressed story. But you know what? I had a lot of fun, and I feel like the storytelling is starting to overtake that artwork that may not be so good. So there you have it, webheads. There are my top 5 books up until this point so far this week. I still got more reading to do. However, in the comments below, I want to hear what your favorite books are so far for this week. And if you love my content, guys, I'll leave you my comic book day haul so you can click on and see all the stuff I picked up this week. And of course, guys, as always, keep buying, keep collecting, but most importantly, always read your comics. Guys, thank you so much. I'll see you real soon. Bye.